Anytime we get to watch Donk, it's just always a good time. So
certainly, and it does really absolutely feel like it's all map one. I think when we saw, for example, previous matches on Dust2 where a team can come in and look good against Spirit on Dust2 on like a half, then they'll just inevitably roll over you, and that's so it's hard to game plan your way out of a Dust2 against Spirit. Whereas Train though might be a possibility here for NiP if they're able to get off to a good start. We'll have to see as we're getting back into this one. Well, getting popped up again, and we're back off to the races.
Yeah, the crowd's certainly been warmed up now. NiP, there's that diagonal smoke flash going over, and they really don't want to slow this down. They've sent Snappy out here, but he's actually the only one there. Donk, quick to get the opening kill here at the quarterfinals. Magic on the other side. They got to be careful they don't line up, but Wrinkle in position to take him down. So back into the 4v4 we go. Bomb is going to be planted in this round, and with Shush kind of lurking around over at Ivy, this is actually kind of a weird retake here for Spirit. Not going to be easy necessarily. Well, I say that, but they do get some kills.
The gun battle's not going the way of NiP, not even a little bit. And that round felt like you've got the strap part down, but the headshots, that part needs some work still. But I mean, you're going to be up against the likes of Donk. We saw him kicking it off with a pretty savage entry.
When I said that the retake wasn't going to be easy, what I really meant to say was it was going to be an easy retake, really. The thing is, structurally, they actually were in good positions, NiP. I think it's one of those things where they probably could have done a better job. Like, I don't know why they're taking these fights at this stage in the round. They got the bomb planted. At that point, they still have Shush back here. If they live, then Shiro will have to rejoin instead of fighting Shush. So the fact that they fight in B means Shush now also has to fight.
Yes,
and then it all just falls apart. So,
like, use the positioning that you've earned.
Yeah, they did the hard part, was getting onto the side and planting the bomb.
Well, we've got a hero Galil, a couple of them, amongst a couple of Mag-10s and a Tech 9 for NiP. Team Spirits, no strangers. So getting a lot done with an SMG, and Zontix is here, ready to guard inner with the support of Shiro in the back with the M4. They detect the forward play. They're going to give up the bomb train. It's typical stuff here. They're keeping hold of connector. Oh wow, that's a fast crack though from Aradoce. Can Zero hold on? He absolutely can. And now the rest of Team Spirit are spilling out onto the yard. There wasn't enough scaling here for NiP. They got slowed down too much.
Yeah, and the bomb is only planted right now because that incendiary did go down. Shiro, nice creep up along the wall. He was very nearly getting the 4th kill, but he'll be stuck at 3 for the round, which is probably still going to be enough here. Snappy trying to tap away with the Tech 9. It's a long fight. And Donk will eventually pick it up. So, honestly, for a buy in the second round, you get 3 kills and you get the bomb planted. Obviously, you really want to try and win it, but at least you're doing some damage to the CT side economy, and that's not too bad.
You know what's interesting here is that, I mean, well, the 4th kill there was actually such a possibility too, so that actually felt pretty good. But the thing that's interesting here is that, are you going to fall by again? You know, you've weakened the CT economy. As you say, you got the bomb down.
Yeah.
There is a world where you can try to run into that. And they're going to do it. It's going to be light on grenades, not going to have full AKs. 4 Galils, 1 AK, so they're going for it here. They want to go for the crippling blow against Team Spirit.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. All about trying to convert the economy. Suntix going to be falling back. Wrinkle really wanted to take that fight, you could tell. Yeah, but it's a very defensive setup from Spirit at the start here, and that's probably good for them. They have, one, failed a grenade on B, but also they've actually fallen back into a 2-man setup at the B bomb site, which means A is going to be significantly weaker here. Donk with the swing, but the spray, oh, Snappy wasn't throwing a grenade. He would have been able to get the refrag instead. Falling back is Donk. He's already got 2, and he lands the headshot. Again, unfortunately, even from like a Counter-Strike enjoyment point of view, Donk just make it look so easy. But the fact is, when you only have 3 people at the A bomb site, if any one of them dies, then the other 2 people on the site have to recover and basically try and guard like 2 or 3 angles. So the dominoes fall really quick on the A bomb site once somebody dies. But yeah, Donk's position was just too strong.
And I did enjoy the fake out from NiP there, just trying to contact back out into the yard, but not accounting for the forward position from Donk. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of forward spots there towards team main. NiP do manage to get out Aradoce. And trying to scale out of Ivy too. Magic tested, has a lot of support here. Not any kills going the way of NiP, and well, as I say that, Snappy picks a headshot up onto Shiro. Is there anything else here? Absolutely not. Shut down by Team Spirit. And if there was ever a moment where their economy was in trouble, well, that's feels like it's a million miles away now.
Yeah, coming up with a couple of really critical rounds. Timeout call from NiP early on. I do kind of like this.
Yeah.
It used to be frowned upon. At one point, people said, oh, they're already calling a timeout. That must be a sign that they're worried and stressed. But I think people are starting to realize it's good to keep things under control at the beginning. Also, we're playing MR12, so you don't have a lot of rounds anyway.
And I think also there are definitely some interesting things we've seen already. We've seen what is a bunch of well-constructed rounds and ideas from NiP, but there are positions that are being kind of missed. I think we're not seeing a break from the structure in some of those rounds. So it might be that Exist is saying, hey, guys, let's like slow it down a little bit. Let's try to play more for some of these gunfights and try to go for the picks, not obsessive distraction. You know, it's hard to say. But they definitely need to make sure they can't just give a free economy to Spirit.
I mean, the issue is, right, it sounds like it's an easy thing to say if you're going to say, let's try and trade out Donk, like let's, you know, he gets a kill, we get a kill, it's all good. But obviously, in reality, that doesn't always work out that way, as evidenced by the fact that he's got a 9-0 scoreline. Yeah. I do like this. So this is doesn't even matter. Chopper's there. That's 3 people. But even the double setup at the ramp here, that's an attempt to try and punish the instant peek that comes out from the T side a lot. Especially AWPers will do this thing where they just crouch into slide into the angle and shoot. It's a pretty fire angle for the T side, but if you've got another player that's there on the stairs, it's going to get interesting. They want to go for the B execute once again, but that grenade lands smack on top of them, and they've already been slowed down here. A little bit of a disastrous start, NiP. Trying to see if they can push a little bit closer. U-Jerks gets taken down. Chopper is just sneaking his way closer. Gonna set up the kill onto Arisdoshan. That just leaves Snappy. He does get the bomb planted, trying to take the fight. He's got a teammate with him, and actually a great job. They've got rid of Donk. It's just Magix and Shiro. 2v2, trying to get back to the side. Oh, what a jump! Wrinkle with 3. And can he stop Magix is the big question. He's up on the high ground once again. That bomb is ticking away. Oh, with a kit, he's going to try and go for it here. His head showing, but he misses the opportunity. And Magix, in a 1v1 against Wrinkle, he comes out on top. It's so close for NiP.
Yeah, it's really well played to get it that far. Coming down to the 50-50. Magix just having to just go for it there. The clutch shot not connecting for Wrinkle, but had done so much work already. But at least for NiP, they're going to feel like, okay, some of these inner plays are going to work out. The only one issue with that, Anders, is that they just have to ensure that it's not too telegraphed. And so got to mix up pacing, got to change how you play some of the rounds. We've got to have some more plays around the A side, just keep them guessing.
Well, I mean, they're trying right now. I admire it. What else could you do? Wrinkle, nice kill. Takes down Donk at the start. Puts a little bit of a break on him. Chopper is going to be the next one to fall. And this A-bomb side under heavy attack now. Spray comes through onto U-Jerks as he was just crouched. I think he was flashed as well in there. So Sontic's able to find him. And still a 3v3 here. Now, they have managed to relocate Shush. He goes forward to hold the connector, and then the bomb's going to be planted behind. This is a really great call for NiP.
Shush has to find a way to hold connector. They don't have nades to do it. It's going to have to be the gun. It has to be the AK. Takes down Zontix. That's beautiful. Shutting down this position. Keeping his team in a position where they can scale the yard if they choose to do so. Snappy is holding back, though, towards Pop and the Halls. And Team Spirit.
Yeah, they don't want to.
They don't want it, indeed. Well done by NiP. Quick call in the mid-round there. Love to see that from them.
Yeah, honestly, really hard to find ways to disengage from a fight when you're that deep into it, but it's really well played. Also, there's not that much money on Spirit, and they have an AK and an AWP, so it's so much to give away in a 2v3 that you're just not going to be doing that. Also, I think just as a measure of how successful the call was, is the fact that when Spirit come in from the connector, they don't even think about the idea that Shush could be that far up. So that's such a good yardstick for how much they managed to sell the idea.
And on top of all of that, the fact that what we get was, from NiP, a call to hit a fast timing on the outer site and then winning the gun battles. I think that also goes a long way because what we have seen is NiP not really finding gun battles that go their way. You know, they get the strats executed, they get into some of the positions, then they just kind of get wiped out. And for them to just like bully out the outer position like that, I think is a huge win.
I think we're also reaching a point on the train meta because this first kill right here, that play of running through the smoke like that, usually you're flashed through it as well. It's become such a normal thing on the CT side. And I think we saw it in the last train game as well, that it is getting punished more and more and more now because you can just almost always expect it. It's such a common thing. But well played by Wrinkle nonetheless. He's got 8 kills. He's pretty much the only one really getting kills right now on NiP, which obviously is not really a great sign, but it's got to start somewhere. Round number 7, and Magix, I really don't know how, but he finds the opportunity on Ujek Donk, going down early again. They're getting rid of him.
Yeah, and we have a deep position for Zontix. Right now, active from Chopper. He's going up Ivy to see what this play really is. He's going to find nothing here. And Team Spirit, they also get the smoke. Shiro gets the smoke as he holds inner as well. So Team Spirit super active right now. Chopper dug deep.
Yeah, this is a mad position for Chopper. I would be shocked beyond belief if they ever check this one. They probably don't, well, maybe they do. They're going to be doubling up on Ivy, so they are going to be walking down here. They look like they are checking every corner. It's pretty impressive stuff here. But Chopper still lands that shot. And
That's
even if he doesn't get that, yeah, I mean, it's also just the information. Like, you know they were coming Ivy.
40 seconds now. So how much time is there for NiP to make this a difficult decision for Spirit? Because Spirit has 0 information right now.
There's also no smokes on NiP. I think that's the really devastating part here. If they had smokes, they could set up a basic execute to get out. But right now, we're talking about just walking onto a site. They've got some flashbangs, but I feel
Shiro's
like...
not there, though. So that's the worst thing, is to run into the orb.
Yeah, it is. Zontix, bit of an off-angle, hard to check, even though it doesn't feel like it. Couple of kills that go his way, and into the fire, Magix. He wanted to give it all to just try and take that fight. And Shiro's actually picked up an M4 instead. Wrinkle, he's already got 3. Out wide, he's not afraid, but maybe he should have been. Shiro at range. I love the fact that Wrinkle feels that way. He's the only one doing anything for NiP. He kind of has to, right? But the problem is, when it doesn't work out, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't really blame Wrinkle for this right now because he's the only one killing anyone.
Totally. It's one of those things, the re-peak.
Yeah, I mean...
it's a difficult one. If you have time to play, you know, you have time to play, but sometimes the other player does not necessarily expect that, but...
I mean, that's one thing. I think the other side of it is just that if you're going to beat Spirit here today, then it will probably require somebody like Wrinkle just getting a bunch of multi-kills. Like the scale of catastrophe here for Spirit has to be so huge that I almost feel like you've got to try and do something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, playing the 1v1, but oh, he's going to go down here. U-jerks at the start, trying to wrap it in.
Oh, look at this, though. Team Spirit are interpreting that as a fake on the outer side. Would still we get the Ivy play from NiP, but responsibly, there's a smoke down there, and Spirit are going to figure this out, that, hey, there's nothing inner just yet. The only thing that they don't know is if there is a play inner, but it's now getting delayed. Spirit, we've seen them be active in this position to find out information, but with a 5v4, I think they're comfortable to sit on the 3-2 setup.
What is the next opening? Somebody has to create it. Wrinkle is down there. He's thinking about it like, my team needs something. They need an opening. Pop Dog could be one of those positions. Unfortunately, Dog is alive. It's going to be a smoke setup towards C connector. Again, a bit of a fake to pretend like you might be going to the B bomb site. They definitely will not this time. 40 seconds. Magix holding this really close angle. There will be a smoke up that's going to put a bit of pressure on him. Under 40 seconds. And Donk fires just in case someone's coming in there around. With the bomb already on the ground, you can tell that the round is simply running out here. Wrinkle, he was supposed to be a late flank, we can tell, if they'd got the bomb down. That's not going to be happening in this round. 20 seconds and a 2 versus 4. I think, what was the term that Maui used? Suffocating?
Yeah.
I mean...
he did, yeah. Asphyxiation.
Yeah.
It's the asphyxiation station, perhaps.
That is what it feels like at the moment. And not a lot of oxygen left on NiP's side. And I mean, listen, we all knew this could happen. Like, really nobody is surprised. But...
I mean, it's like you say, that there is a mechanics threshold where you can have any kind of strat you want, but if you can't quite meet the mechanics threshold, you can't quite win enough gunfights, you ultimately won't be able to get any purchase. And the problem is that the other team will feel that, and it will up their confidence, which will increase the mechanics threshold you need to hit.
Yeah.
And then also, Team Spirit, they'll have the option to play disruptively if they want to. But they're playing great fundamentals on Train right now. They understand how to rotate. They're playing the basics on info really well. They're talking with each other. They're getting active when they need to in the mid-round. They're just doing all the basics really, really well. In addition to murdering people.
You could say that's their primary skill at the moment.
Yeah.
That is really what they are.
Yes.
They're doing at a high level. 7-1 NiP. They're back into this round with 2 AKs, 2 Galils, 1 AWP on Wrinkle there. As cool as it is to see Wrinkle try to defeat Spirit on his own, it's not really enough. There's the peak I was talking about earlier. And Suntix does take a bullet to the leg. But he's going to survive, and that's probably the only thing that he cares about. All it forces him to do is play more defensively. He hasn't even really called any backup yet. He's like, that was just the early shot. I know that.
We get a pause. Pace slows for NiP. And Spirit, they haven't been really fighting super aggressively for any positions, which I think if you are the overdog in this way, you don't necessarily need to take those additional risks to play disruptively, especially on the CT side of a map like Train or a map like Nuke. You can play the inherent advantages of having 5 players up on a defensive map with fast rotates.
Yeah, they're feeling very, very confident in the setup right now. There's really nothing special happening. Also because whenever NiP show up at any site, Spirit just win most of the gunfights anyway, so like it's really not on Spirit to try and change the game here at all. They are rotating Chopper back a little bit, so he's going to be at the A-bomb side, I think, right around the time when NiP are executing. That's really bad news. It was a 3-man defense. It's about to be 4. Chopper guarding Aurora, trying to see if he can make his way out from Ivy in a couple of seconds here. All right, Donk with the early kill, but Ujex goes down. The bomb is lost for the second here. 14 of them left as well. Snappy gets 1, and they take care of Chopper. Suntix in position to maybe stop it. If the smoke wasn't up, it would have been really interesting, but he's not going to get a chance to do that. And 1 versus 3. NiP actually winning some significant battles here. And for once, Spirit looked like they didn't really know where to look in that defense.
For a second, I was having flashbacks to when you kind of spray under the train, the old version.
Yeah.
Just killed the bomb planter, but indeed. I was so extremely worried for NiP. They didn't go until 20 seconds left, and okay, here's a potential for a kill. Yeah, there we go. Snappy takes down Zontix. Every extra kill here is important just for the sake of confidence, like feeling like you can kill your opponent. It does creep into your mind. It's hard to avoid. It's just a natural human thing if it is a match where you're just unable to kill people.
I mean, as absurd as it might be to bring up as a point of conversation right now, we have seen Spirit on big stages in the past look frustrated. I think that frustration is really far away right now, but in a world here where you can get like a 7-5 scoreline and win the pistol in the second half, I mean, there is a way, and that's really all NiP have to keep telling themselves.
I'm viewing it like a stun meter in like a fighting game.
Yeah.
You got to get that frustration bar to the top.
That's how you've got to think of it, right? You have to try and see if you can throw them off their game, and if nothing else, the money's kind of out here. The boost is up, executes Wrinkle to start with, swings for it here. Doesn't get the second connection, and they should be able to throw some grenades up here, try and get rid of him. He can't surely shut them down with just a Deagle. Chopper also being very mobile. He's going to hit the shot on Snappy, and how is this round unraveling? How's it gone wrong? Finally, they get a kill onto Donk, and it's back into a 3v3. Oh, sorry, 2v2 as they do get the Molotov up. Shush helping out.
Huge.
NiP stabilizing the round finally.
Might be a timing though. Oh, yeah. When a smoke goes off like that and you're that close to the edge, it gets dangerous. Okay, Anders. It looks like it was all going wrong. But
yeah.
Magix didn't even pick up a gun. So he has to get this done with a 5-7 against 2 AKs at range. He's been spotted. Okay, there's a headshot. Aradoche's gone down. Not like this. NiP fans are surely thinking. We'll see what Shush can find though. AK collected by Magix. It's got to be the long defuse though. So time should be the savior here for Shush. Oh, executed once again just to prove a point. All 5 members going down, and when you win a round, you need to have players left to make any money. And so this is really going to hurt.
Yeah, it actually does make a difference to NiP. It's not just nothing. And again, like we talked about the momentum and sort of the belief that you could do something. Like winning a round like this one, sure, it's good, but it does feel a little bit deflating.
Yes.
You can see they're going to be missing a couple of the flashes that they would have had, and maybe even some of the Molotovs. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world, but it did make them a little bit poorer at the end of it. So, 7-3.
And what we're going to see here as well is a round that's worth 2, because both teams actually have no money. So there is a real opportunity here for NiP if they can cobble together another successful round. Then it could actually be a 5-7, which is honestly an insane finish given how the first 7 rounds were won by Team Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, it's within reach, right? NiP starting to turn it around. It's so hard to convince yourself that they can go the full distance, but obviously they're proving something to us right here. Donk also still really good with 13-6, but you know, he started 9-0. So I don't want to say he's cooled down, but he's had a couple of rounds here where he hasn't been enjoying the multi-kills outside the way that he started with. Same 4-1 split on the defense for Spirit, which is not too surprising. Smoke goes towards the C connector here. Oh, actually all the way towards Icon instead. So
pushing pop. Getting active. NiP could be susceptible to feeling the disruption here. Do they expect a push timing? Okay, they're looking for it. The swing comes in. It's got to be huge. One more player to be found. Isolating the 1v1 Donk. He's going to try to fall back. He hears the running though. Goes for the duel. Shush wins it. That's big. 4 versus 3 here for NiP. Over a minute to play with. And if they go inner, Zontix could play spoiler. But right now, NiP are going to use the clock to their advantage.
Yes, Shush is such a smart player, and I think he understood that there was a real weakness there for Donk in trying to escape through the hallway. So just, you know, you've got him trapped there. Might be one of the better fights you're actually going to get against him, so might as well take it now. Okay, they are going to be splitting the bomb site. Interesting to see if they have any grenades here to get rid of Magix. It's such a hard position to clear if you're coming out of Pop Dog. If you're coming out of main at the same time, I mean, maybe not so much. 30 seconds. Smoke goes on over towards the connector this time, and a flash right up top does nothing at all to Magix. Oh, Shush, he still found the headshot by the E-box, but it just won't make a difference. Magix, how did he do that? That's the M4A1. He was running out of bullets towards the end of that fight.
I'm pretty sure the headshot was the final bullet too, so that really hurts. And again, we talked about the money issues, and for NiP, there's always that condition where, okay, in that spot, if we lose the round, that sucks, but if we got the bomb down, we would at least have something extra to go into this final round with. But sometimes it's these rounds that go a bit better, and NiP have had success with some of the shock and awe fast plays.
Oh, that Molotov, I think, went way too far. Sontic's going to try and hold him back. The incendiary there, they do try and make that jump through. It's not a bad idea. They're going to trade out Donk as well. Actually, a big success right now for NiP, just getting onto the site at all. But they are very, very low. A deep HE right now could ruin their chances. Shiro goes down, but Chopper is there in Magix at range. No bomb plant, and Snappy with a Tech 9 here, trying to find it at the edge. It will be Magix on the other side. 14-4 scoreline on him, and a 9-3 finish in the first half in favor of Spirit. That's obviously, again, quite one-sided. It took way too long before the rest of NiP showed up. Wrinkle he had to carry such a long stretch at the beginning.
Yeah, it was not until the 6th round that we saw the first round won by NiP. And the previous rounds they lost, it was so clear that just the gun battles were impossible to win.
Oh, yeah.
And now moving into the second half, we'll see how the dynamics shift going onto the defensive side, CT side, how that plays, because the CT side is also, this is a map like I think Nuke is similar, where you can get a lot done with layered strats, understanding how to do positional setups well, understanding util, understanding how to get active and read the map. It's not, you can make it so it's not completely about the gunfights, is what I'm trying to say.
I think NiP would love that right now. If they could try and find a way to sort of make it a little bit more awkward. I do think it's getting the start on the T side here. It should still have been, I think, a better start where they control more things. They are in charge of the decision making more. I mean, it's so boring to have to boil it all the way down to the fact that Spirit are just shooting harder than NiP right now. But
yes.
but it probably is just 80% of the explanation right now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Second half is here. Spirit and NiP in the quarterfinals, looking for a spot in the semis. Spirit, I think the whole community agree they seem predestined to get there to the grand final. Probably, at least the semi-final, probably the grand final too. Wrinkle starts off well enough. He's got 13 himself, which is, again, very impressive. They will lose him, though, at the bottom of Ivy, which is where the bomb is making its way. Next target is Ujux. Nice enough fight. Shiro is still around the corner.
Oh, fakes it. He faked the runaway, but it's still not enough to take down Shiro. But still a 3v2 advantage here, Anders, and there is a lot to work with for NiP.
Yeah, there is. It's a P250, so you gotta be careful. Oh, that's a nice shot. The dualies connecting, Shiro going down. And Sontek's 50 seconds. What a robbery it would be if he stole this round back.
Don't even say it, Anders.
I have to, because...
Can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you put that into the universe.
Let's just see, all right?
Stop manifesting.
I'm doing it to jinx him so that NiP will win the round here. And look how well it's working as well, Dan. I've done it.
Oh, you keep doing it, don't you?
Nice triple.
All right, okay. We got past the round. We got past Anders doing whatever he was doing.
I've got that NiP bias from all the way back then,
It's carried over, yeah.
NiP Gaming TV.
Yeah.
Still some old people around to remember.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have something to work with for NiP. However, actually, additionally, no bomb plant. So Team Spirit aren't going to have all the toys necessarily.
And Magic's got smited by God then in the server. That's also, if they've got that on their side, NiP, it's possible that they can win this. Struck down. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Snappy was smiling. He's like, they've been out doing some voodoo or whatever it takes.
Ritualistic sacrifice in the woods.
Listen, if you're not doing it, are you trying to win it all?
That's fair.
You used to compete in Quake and stuff, You ever got to that stage? You brought out the Ouija boards and all the rest of it to try and win?
I never got that far, actually. Honestly, I guess I just wasn't on the right subreddits.
I know. I've got to try harder.
If you're not cheating, do you even want to win?
That's, I'm sure that's going through Snappy's mind at the moment. Like, what? Maybe that is just what we... It's possible that if NiP cheated, it might just even things out. Be more of a fair game.
Yeah, perhaps. A
little bit of a reset here mentally for everybody. Guy wants to open cases.
He's trying hard.
Well, you're talking about the guy with the laptop, but I'm looking at OwnerPixel. He's right over there, and I know he wants to open cases as well. He's pointing back. Don't point at me. Don't point at... Oh, he's doing it. He can't be controlled. I can't control him. Oh, okay. That is a nice shot. All right.
Yeah. Here we go. All right.
Back.
All right. We're back into it. NiP against Glocks. Now, the mission here is keep as many guns alive as possible.
Yeah.
Build the economy. You're going to need it.
Don't lose to the Glocks, whatever happens.
Oh, no. Don't even... No.
Just let that be the first mission, and then we'll talk about the rest. 9-3 here. Oh, okay. There is a deagle.
We need to bring Steel on for the TriCast just to say, Glocks.
Just need a soundboard, don't we?
That would also perhaps be a bit more Yeah, efficient.
But I'm game. I don't think we can get him here in time, you know?
No.
Quite far away, Josh, but still. Round number 14. Pretty deep smoke. Spirit hoping that NiP would give them an early fight somewhere. That doesn't really seem to be the case.
Baiting the nades. Love to see it. Uh-oh, Snappy, how many can you get? Time to make some money. Couple of players down, the trade comes through. I feel like that is absolutely acceptable.
Yes.
Good work.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be really more complicated than that. Nicely done. Taps away. Sends Sontix to an early grave. And just Shiro here up on the high ground. Again, a little bit more damage would have been nice, but they will survive with 3 people, and all they really lose is the MP9.
Yeah.
So
it's a feel-good moment, like the end of a rom-com movie.
I wouldn't know, Dan.
You wouldn't know?
It's not my thing, you know?
Oh, I would have thought taking you for a fan.
Maybe I just haven't... Maybe we can watch some together, Dan. Maybe just have that
Seem
right
like the kind of guy that rewatches Love Actually on the plane.
We'll put it in the calendar. 9-5. All right, NiP. They're course correcting a little bit. It's just so hard to convince yourself that this could work out. But I will say this, if they win this round, then it's worth a conversation once again about how far they can run it back. I think if they lose this one, it's going to be a very deflating feeling on that NiP side.
Yeah, a lot of util dumps, although NiP still have Aradochi actually with a lot active play close to inner. This could be very dangerous. Team Spirit are looking to move into this site. The smoke goes away. 2 players set up. They go aggressive here. They're committed in. 2 kills, though, going the way of the CTs, but trade out of Magic's 3v3. And the inner play is on Wrinkle. Good defense, just heads bobbing over the train now, trying to find a reposition. Needs his teammates to get in there. Wrinkle trying to hold. Holding. Still able to survive here. I think he's done it. His teammates are in. Oh, headshot from Magic's, though. Makes things a little bit more difficult. And the scaling as well. Magic's just so confident in these gunfights. The tapping through the smoke. Aradochi, 6 bullets, a dream. Magic's looking for the peak. Is he going to find it? Oh, he gets the timing, but Aradochi gets out.
Yeah, he's still alive somehow. Bomb is all the way back there. Is it on the high ground? Yes, it is. That's why Magic's would have rather had to fight than having to try and pick up the bomb once again. It's a very, very awkward round here.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, he's afraid of getting caught on the ladder for obvious reasons, but you know what? He's picked up the bomb, and Aradochi had to walk all the way around. He was hoping that it was going to be some sort of an A play in the end, but now coming through the C connector, it looks like Magic's kind of has a bit of an idea. None of the players here with very much health at all. Making a little bit of noise. Does he see it? He does! Well played. Massive clutch coming out here in the 1v2. NiP needed that more than anything. If they would have lost this round, the money would have been quite compromised, and there's a chance that they would have been wiped out on this opening map.
And just again, you know, big effort there on that inner bomb train, just holding the position, playing purely to survive, to delay, to prevent the T's from scaling and allow your teammates time to get to the site to allow for those fights. And Aradochi, I mean, great decision-making. It's not easy in these moments, just going for the big, long rotate. And we saw that Magic struggled to get up the ladder as well. And also, Aradochi could have pushed it deeper into the site, but he took the far back angle. So yeah, beautiful stuff there. And NiP 6-9, but there are dangerous guns on the field here for Team Spirit. Couple AKs.
Oh, it's not over yet, is it? Not out of the woods. It'll be very exciting if NiP pick this one up. At 9-7 with no money on Spirit, it is suddenly a super different conversation here. So I am starting to get a little bit more curious about when Spirit rediscovered that killer instinct and decided to shut it down here. Right now it's Magix and Donk who are top fragging. But already the rest of NiP have come alive, right?
Yes.
Wrinkle still top on their side, but look at who's joining him. It's everyone else but UJerks at the moment, who's had obviously an incredibly rough game with 3-14.
Train is a map where it's harder to make individual plays. The CTs have a lot more control just based on how the map architecture is. And that's really benefiting NiP right now. They've dug deep here. Snappy in that team main position. That's a lot of information. 2 players on inner. The walk.
They're going to fake this A site. Look at Chopper and like the grenade here towards Icon, one towards C Connector. So they're really pretending to be yard. Flash is going out into the yard as well. Chopper's really selling it. But they're still not holding, or it's budging. They're still at the B-bomb side with 2 people. U-Jerks, unfortunately, does get dinged. Oh, they jump down. That's a team kill. Dunk managed to kill one of his teammates while they're mid-air. Did he shoot him while they were both airborne? What just happened?
There's a big flank, though, Anders. Snappy was dug team main. He heard the running through the halls, and he's coming. His teammates just have to live for long enough to activate his flank.
Yeah, you're right. Wrinkle's holding far back for that same reason. Although it worries me. The flank has taken such a long time. They do have a kit, a couple of them even on the board here. There's the flank coming in, but oh no! The 180 from Chopper with the Tech 9! And another one! Taking down Aristotle. Count that as a full 360. Wrinkle running for life. He does take down Chopper, but that doesn't matter any longer. How on earth does he get away with it?
Oh no. Oh man, it's so difficult. The MP9 giveth and it taketh away. Oh no.
The burst. I would love to see that replay from him.
Yes.
Absolutely spinning around. Yeah, that is the mid-air team kill from Donk. Obviously hilarious, but yeah, this is disgusting. Oh my god. He had 2 bullets left.
Full arm flick, 180, reset. Great wrist control as well. Just beautiful stuff there with that Tech 9. And that's a very difficult round for NiP. This is why we were talking about, making sure you survive with as many players as possible. And obviously Wrinkle with the AWP save does mean that we have some options going into this round here for NiP. But it feels dangerous. Only 2 M4s, an MP9 CZ.
What a shame for NiP. It was such a sick idea with the long flank, like you said. Yeah. The fact that he'd heard the footsteps, he was like, that's supposed to be the kill. And that would have set up the rest of the retake, I think, very, very nicely. 10-6 here, NiP, the last bit of cash that they have going into this one. It has to work, but Shiro's already out flashed in. And he will take down U-Jerks, who's just been blown up. He's stuck at 3 kills. He can't really get past that point right now. Snappy does get one in return, though. So 4 versus 4. Donk. Quite confident here, looking for the fight. He will lose Suntix, but resets his aim only for a second there. Wrinkle shows up, and that was the right weapon at the right position. Magix, my god, he's hitting shots. 19 kills in total, and it's up to Wrinkle to try and clutch it, but they kind of know where he is. I mean, they just need to find out if he's still here, and then they can go plant at B. I think they've seen him.
I think that, yeah, it's a ladder movement here.
So smart.
Yep. Understanding that you just need info. Maximizing that. And here goes Wrinkle. It would take something pretty crazy. He has no idea where these players are. Oh my god. Walking on forward, spots ahead. But there is a flank as well coming in through connector. Time is limited here for Wrinkle! Expired. Though, maybe a bit quicker than expected. Again, if we come back to the same thing, Anders, where some of these headshots, some of these gunfights just look monstrous from Team Spirit's end.
It was honestly, it's a very, very smart play from Magix and Chopper there, and the play with the ladder, just getting information, allows Chopper to plant the bomb. I think Wrinkle knew that he had to take the fight against one of them, and he knew he was going to get flanked anyway, so he just has to try and do something. Wow, 11-6, a force up here for NiP. They put it all on the line for this round. U-Jerks again, the first to go down. Suntix will pick up the player, pushing Hot Dog, and suddenly things are already falling apart in this one. There's nobody actually defending the A site any longer. Just trying to go for it. That's how you use the MP9 at range. A lesson maybe for Snappy for later on, but Donk in the corner, spraying him down. Wrinkle again in a 1 versus 2, but this time they know exactly where he is.
He's got a great gun. And the smoke too, that's beautiful. He doesn't know there's a player behind there, but this at least helps make it a little bit easier. A couple of extra shots, I think, trying to like bait a player to shoot so that he can know where one's positioned, but...
Saving for overtime.
Saving for overtime, yes. It feels so deflating. It's so, it feels, so many moments feel like they're so close, Anders, you know, just like if you just froze it and like, positionally.
Yeah, sure.
It like looks so great.
I mean, you're not wrong. There have been many moments like that where it is sort of the 3v3. There maybe is a moment, but that is all that it's really been so far. It has still been Spirit in control of the game pretty much from the start. Wrinkle, I think, has 18 kills, and Donk has 20, just to tell you how much Wrinkle has tried to stop Spirit. It actually is a crazy world-class performance from him on the map.
Yeah.
But it's just one person can't do it, unfortunately.
Absolutely, and you can see the confidence when we are on his POV. 18 and 13 for Wrinkle. This could be it on train here for NiP. We'll have to see. Bunch of MP9s and just that one saved AK on Wrinkle. Can the hero of NiP in this train game deliver in this round?
They have so little to work with. Kind of would like to see them go for more of the fun aggression stuff, but unfortunately, again, because of where they are economically, Spirit will always be watching for it. That's very hard to do. Well, they did get Ujux into a forward position, so that might do something. Wrinkle's there.
Beautiful
Feeding
swing.
Donk, again. What an achievement on its own. 1v1.
Using teammate as bait. All choppers close. They can punish this, and they go for it. MP9 delivers 5 versus 3. Another gun that can be picked up.
Yeah, great stuff. Ujux finally finding another kill, but better late than never and all that. Shush here with the FAMAS. He actually does get the dink. That's not bad at all. Wrinkle, though, the one to really step it up. He's already got the triple. The spray's in! And 4 kills for him, up to 22. One of the best performances I've seen out of Wrinkle. I think he just resigned with NiP, and I think he's such a great player for the organization. Obviously for the individual stuff here, but personality-wise too. He is someone that's going to kind of bring the team out of a slump. I think he's just always going to play like this, which is so sick.
So important, yeah. Makes it always feel doable, and so many 4 AKs on the CT side. That's a luxury right there. Team Spirit with the initial nade to the outer side. You got to throw stuff. You got to convince the CTs to dump as well. And then resetting. And one of the things that's been getting Team Spirit is actually slowing some of these rounds down. Obviously, they have pistols. So one of the things, you know, a T side would often end up doing is finishing inner, getting the plant. And there's almost oftentimes with pro teams an agreement, we'll let you plant, but we'll win the retake, just with minimal losses. But then NiP, I mean, one round lost, they're going to do it. They don't need economy at this point.
I just want to highlight the fact that, you know, even at 12-7 here, probably going to be 12-8. You know, Maui was saying that they were going to choke out NiP. I feel like NiP are making a little bit more of it here, you know?
Grip is loosening.
I'm not saying Maui's a fraud or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, don't know if I would call this quite choked out. Chopper setting up inside of the C-connector smoke. Snappy is here, and he's got some backup in Shush as well. AK, such a nice jump for Magix to try and offset the crosshair, but it's not really working out. Shush with the double spray down. They know where Snappy is. Oh, okay, hold on. Careful now against the Deagles. Let him plant the bomb, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you do not lose the round. Suntix dies, and it's Shiro versus 3. He clips 1. Takes down Arrow's Doctor. Now the rest are getting a bit closer. He's repositioning here, getting a couple of opportunities, but he's down to just 4 bullets. 2 players in front, and they'll combine for the kill against him. What a sweaty round.
Yeah.
But NiP pick it up.
The only thing that sucks, again, because one round and NiP is done, you're not really thinking into the future of your economy too much. You just have to keep winning rounds. But they do lose some AKs. They lost 2 AKs there because of those 2 extra kills that were found. Which that can make a difference. So
absolutely,
we'll see how it pans out. But there is the 12-8 that you were talking about, and now this is a round where Spirit could get all shock on all. But what's interesting is that if they end up going shock on all and losing some of the gunfights and losing the round, suddenly we're in interesting territory. Am I going to say it, Anders?
No, I fully agree. It's within reach now. Snappy's picked up the AUG. That is definitely interesting. Like I said, some of the teams that are a little bit lower on the world ranking from Spirit have really started to lean into the AUG. And I think it's actually been working pretty well generally, so...
On this map, I can see exactly why it could make sense.
Yeah. Well, although weirdly, Bedroom is my favorite example. When they use it, they don't even scope. They just use it like a regular gun, but for some reason it works. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, 4-round gap. NiP. It would be hard to describe the scale of the comeback from that 9-3 first half against a Donk and Magix that looked undefeatable. Carried back into the game by Wrinkle, really trying to save the entire team on his own. But if they can get here, if they can do it and push it into overtime, what a headline that would be all on its own. Even if they end up losing, I think that would be something you'd walk off the stage saying, all right, it's a bad start, but we're more dangerous than maybe people think.
So the interesting thing now is that we've had the initial exchange of util. We saw Team Spirit covering for CT re-aggression, which didn't come. And now Spirit, with a minute left, less util, they have to make a move to one of the sides. They're going to pick the outer sites. We've got further back positions. Jerks is going to be the contact man. He's going to have to deliver some kills. He's going to get isolated.
Oh, that smoke goes very deep. Might actually help out Jerks quite a bit. Gonna be one smoke going down deep. Return grenade to try and slow down Spirit, but they will run right through it. Out by the E-box they go. 35 seconds. A running headshot to take down Snappy, and it started to come apart already. No bomb hunt happening yet. You can see Sontix, he wants to, but he hasn't found the safety yet. Gonna get the kill on Shush finally, and the bomb will be planted on the other side. Wrinkle trying to jump through. He wanted to stop them. Chopper is out of it, but Ujux and Arisdotchi, here we go. The retake is on. The bomb is already planted. It's a good spray, but Arisdotchi misses. The shot goes down. Magix to drop him instead. And Spirit, they delay the victory a little bit, but they will pick up that opening map on train.
That was a good attempt, Anders. That was a series of fights that were absolutely winnable for NiP. I really feel like we could have gotten some extra ones out of them here.
It's just too late to really do anything with. Dan, how do you feel? Dust2, give us the most inspiring speech that you can about why NiP might win this.
Guys, can you believe that Anders has just done this to me? It's like, I can't believe you've done this to me. Okay, so I want to go back to that. You know what? There's no time, Anders. Brilliant. Okay, we're getting into the match.
Nice. Literally saved by the bell.
I dodged it.
I thought I had you in a moment. I thought I had cornered you there, but you did get saved by the fact that the game is actually going live here. NiP going to be starting on the CT side, Spirit on the T side, and out long we go. I think Wrinkle has made a smart move, falling back. There is a smoke, but only one for the cross. And there is actually an HE on Ujux, so a couple of interesting grenades to look for here, assuming that he can get his way into position. He's in the middle right now, but if he can blow open the smoke, you can see Wrinkle's actually looking for the T-smoke to block it, so he wants to body block it, but they're throwing it the normal way, so he can't do that. Oh, they swing it in front of it. Ujux, where is that grenade? It's got to be a flash instead. Arisdotchi taking down Chopper, and they still have the man advantage. There's the HE coming out, but unfortunately it was mistimed a little bit, so Spirit have a chance to cross and maybe plant the bomb.
Sure, firing off that. Arisdotchi still holding onto the Gandalf position. And without Molotov, it is hard to deal with that player. Ooh, darn funny Ujux. Right in the open before his teammates can get there to help. Stuck on either end of things with a long flank coming. Here he goes. Snappy. He's got to find this with the USP. Gets it. Labored, but it happens. And Arisdotchi to finish it off. And NiP pick up the CT pistol. I feel like it's one of the most important pistol rounds of all the map pool. It's the CT pistol at Dust2.
It does go a really long way, at least it should. But I think more importantly, they actually didn't even get to plant the bomb here. So the chances that there is a force-up in this round are very, very low for Spirit. This flash through the smoke actually works out pretty well for NiP, better than I was expecting. And obviously, Arisdotchi coming in, just cracking a couple of skulls, up to 3 kills in that round. And NiP pushing into lower dark. You could make the argument that they don't need to take this kind of a risk, but I don't think it's necessarily a risk. I think, again, this is about establishing some dominant control and make Spirit feel like they can't just do whatever they want on the map. So I do kind of like it.
And I think with the timings, the rush timings, the way the doors are now, You get up close there with an MP9. It does feel pretty powerful. And you get instant info that there's nobody upper dark. And they're actually aggressively smoking upper dark. Oh, looking for some cheeky stuff here. The boost there to look over the door. That would be crazy. But they're giving up on it. Let's leave Donk in this position.
You can get that boost if the smoke is up. I feel like doing it without the smoke seems a bit sort of ridiculous, but they also couldn't do it anyway, so they actually failed. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Rico.
Got to be careful. You don't want to give kills too quickly. You want to force the T's to have to make a move onto a site here. Usually it's going to be that cat play, and that's what the CTs are looking to catch right now. Jump back. Okay, all right. Snappy's 26 HP.
It's all
Give
fine.
this up. Oh my, staying out there. Goes down as well.
Dan, you're being way too nervous. It's all under control for NiP. I personally am not worried. They've got no armor.
Must be nice.
3v3. This 1 HE from Astralis is going to seal the deal. Don't you worry about it. Oh, right into the wall. That's such a great grenade. Takes down Shiro. Oh, they're going to jump around. Yeah, mid-air dunk with the headshot. Smart play. And now they make the cross. They're going to get the bomb planted here. No one can stop them from doing that. Flash in. But they really don't want to go for it just yet. The Deagle comes back out. It's a missed shot for Donk. Suntix gets one and they just barely survive. Like I said, I wasn't worried. Shush saved the round.
Anders.
He was always
lying. I think you're a liar. Oh man, that's scary stuff. I do think the low dark push is good, but after that, you're just trying to prevent. We've seen some teams do this really expertly. You just try to see where the CTs are rotating to, drop a smoke, just be able to have setups for the choke point they'll spill out of, because there's basically 3 major ones you're worried about: the cat, the upper dark, and potentially the mid doors. The most common ones I think we see where it's like actually dangerous if they spill out without you getting a few kills first. So 2-0. Wrinkle picks up the AWP, but there's so much economic damage there. They really must win this round in NiP. They get that fast long control.
Yeah, the money being as low as it is, obviously, it's not a great sign for NiP. Some shots coming through. It feels like he should have been able to get something there, but on the other side of it, he doesn't die to the return fire. Long, Magix and Snappy having a silent standoff. Nobody really knows for sure here, but to be honest, if he finds a kill here, Snappy, he does see it. Oh, that would have been an important pickup there.
Oh, and look at that. Team Spirit actually fanning out off of Cat. Maybe feeling like that gave the game away, seeing Magix alone there. And they're going to regroup into long A. This is actually really smart. But Wrinkle's also repositioned. It's perfect. They thought that they were perhaps running into just Snappy, but the AWP is there. What a beautiful play from NiP.
Yeah, that couldn't really have been any better. Also, the timing for the grenades here in the middle, absolutely critical, as Spirit have set up the double smoke, which is something that they're so well known for, and that they push CT spawn while they're going catwalk. Chopper is going to get the kill. I think they know. Suntix was in there too. Yeah, it's such an obvious call. Once you see this double smoke and Chopper and Suntix in the middle, you should know the rest, and Wrinkle does. Such a smart read for NiP here. This shows you how much they've been studying. This is a classic Spirit call. It's so hard to read because there is another variation where they throw the same smoke, and the other version of it, they end up hiding inside of the smoke towards B, and when that smoke fades, they just go for the B split instead. So the double smoke in middle is half the puzzle, but once you see both Suntix and Chopper in there, I think you should know what's coming next.
And I love that we're seeing that continuation from Wrinkle here, and repositioning into that spot was so awesome. So impressed by that. Wrinkle beats Donk on the swing and then just keeps going. If your AWPer is firing off early on a Dust2, that is great. And NiP have a 3-0 start back against the Tech-9s now.
I mean, to be honest, this is already a better start than I think NiP could have hoped for. They've got 3 AKs. The money is not exactly great. And actually, this is the kind of round that's unfortunately somewhat losable. Now, say Shush is probably one of the best anchors you could have in the world for this kind of position, but still, if he dies, then it's an immediate issue. Right in front here, look at a spray down. Headshot before they even got through the smoke.
Anders, you're so smart. Shush, absolutely the man for the job. It looks like a really risky position, but he knows exactly how to play off of that smoke. And it looks like he's completely stuffed it. He's stuffed the push. Ujux is going hunting. In T-spawn.
Careful now. Grenade should do a little bit. Again, it's not about dying. It's about saving the AKs here. And his teammates are far enough away. They can't pick up the AK. That's on Snappy, like the M4. So they will lose an AK. I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah, I think the value of locking them in, they've basically already lost a round at that point. So the solo play, where you're against some of the best aimers in the world, it definitely is scary. I got nervous again.
I can understand why. I do actually wonder for Ujux, that's a question also of trying to like play yourself into the game because he had such a dreadful train.
That's fair.
That it's like he's just thinking, okay, if I can show up and get a couple of easy kills here, then. But it kind of has the inverse effect, right? He's like, oh, I died to Tech9s. Goddamn. Yeah,
when you try to make plays to win confidence, it is usually going to be a tactical error.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to find a fight where you don't have advantage, and you end up having a hard time. So. Hopefully that's not a trend. Hopefully we get settled into this one. 4-0 for NiP, but now Shira has picked up the orb.
Ooh.
Absolutely devastating connection. I feel like you have to expect it.
That's very nice little flick there. Ujux taking up a forward position that is Molotoved very, very often, but in the event that it isn't, this could be a fun little 1-2 combination. Aristoch is here, so he can also try and body block the smokes that they would throw for CT spawn. That's a very nice grenade. Chopper's going to get connected on. So they do clear out the catwalk position, which again is just what Spirit does. I think it's going to be the exact same thing where the challenge will be, is it B-split or is it catwalk? And let's see if NiP can find out. I would venture to say it's probably going to be a B-split the way that they're set up right now, but so hard to read.
But I think you're right, though. NiP very well prepared because they are, I think, prepared for both options. And the stoppage on the B-split close to the doors is really nice. We'll have to see if the execution will follow, though. And NiP, they've heard all the noise. They know what Team Spirit are up to. But as you say, it's like, which way do they go? They are prepared for this doors play. Ujux, he hears it. He knows he's being teased. Oh my god, Magic still picks it up. Aradoche could not support him there. He's got problems of his own in CT spawn.
So smart. Donk shoots him through the smoke. Shush the only one, and he's already low from earlier. Very nearly could have had the multi-spray down. But yeah, that works out just fine for Spirits. They kind of actually got what they wanted as well on NiP.
Yeah.
There was no Molotov to get rid of the close player in Ujux, and so that's the first kind of good thing for him, is that he's just fighting it straight up, but unfortunately he doesn't win that fight. So, and then I think also Aristoche was up on the box. I don't think he managed to body block the smoke, so he had to fall back. It's what it looked like, at least. And then obviously, even if he got the kill on Chopper there, shot down for the smoke on Donk, and Wrinkle trying to save the AWP here. So, first round of the ball for Spirit. But it's expensive, right? They've lost 3 people already.
And the other thing about that position, too, is it is pretty bangable as well. So, the position that Ujux had. So, I wonder what other setups they may have that can... Because obviously, you know, Spirit also know that teams look at what they do. So, they understand that, oh, if a team has read us, what do we absolutely have to clear? You can see Magix was extraordinarily ready for that clear. And with the Pika's advantage in this game, it makes that peak not quite as good if there's nobody that's there to help bait.
Okay, so watching that replay, you could see he actually had body blocked the smoke. It's crazy that they check the corner when they know the smoke has been body blocked off, because if you're coming in on the Spirit side, you must have assumed, you know that there's someone was up there. So the fact that he still checks the close corner is actually kind of wild. I didn't even catch that to begin with. 4-1. Also, let's make a rule, Dan, never to call them positions bangable again. I feel like we should say wall bangable.
Why are you doing the Barbarous Rise effect here? Why do you have to bring it up again?
I had to because I feel like it's going to invite a whole nother deep conversation, you know, like we're inviting problems, you know, if we go down that road.
Fair enough.
Or I'll put it like this, you're getting me into hot water, Dan. I was almost about to run away with the whole broadcast there for a second.
I was in tactical mode, didn't even go there. But getting back into it here, Spirit starting with upper dark control. You got Chopper towards top mids, so very, very as you would expect. That's he around the start. 3 players opening up for NiP at long for any kind of push timings there. Now Snappy once again is playing long by himself. His teammates fanning back out towards A, and Donk has actually gone walkabouts.
Look at this.
The intrepid explorer.
There's no signal here, right? There's a Molotov in lower. That's a fake. They know no one's in lower. They're trying to sell the idea to NiP, and they might not be ready for it here. Arishdosh on the other side of it, and Donk just running straight into his face. It's Magic's to get the kill, but Ujux is dead in this corner. It is only a question of time before they find him. Sontix will be the man in charge of the job there, and Chopper holding the rotation. Shush goes down, and I think Wrinkle and Snappy have to save. It's just not a viable option here. This is an absolutely beautiful round to show people who don't know what tactical Counter-Strike is and the level of chess that's being played here by Spirit. They are already out middle. They throw a Molotov into lower dark, pretending like they're only now clearing it, so that if there is anyone on the CT side listening for that grenade, they're like, oh, they're clearing lower dark now. And in fact, 2 seconds later, they're basically running into the B-bomb site. Such a sick move.
It's a cool way to create, like, manufacture a timing. That's really, really cool. And with that, you know, they'll pick up another round. And what's interesting is that I think what Spirit are showing in NiP is that NiP may need to become more disruptive.
Yes.
But there's also a problem with that in that it's very hard to do well on Dust2.
Yeah. Well, and that's true against any team. It's even more true against Spirit because they almost always... This was a very odd round from Spirit's point of view. Normally, they just play the same default. Yeah. You know they're going to be stretched out. They're going to be holding long and upper dark, and then they're going to take catwalk control. It's the same thing every time. So you can try to be aggressive, but they probably will not be surprised.
In a round, you might expect a mix-up from NiP's defensive setup. They open it the same, although quick flash there. See if they can catch Shiro. Shiro, though, not connecting, but I think feels very safe here. Has that smoke to use as cover to reposition. And in the meantime, the rest of Spirit working on that cat control, so making sure that they're on track.
Yeah. Same as usual. Another way to try and do it is for Snappy to push long, which we've seen in the past against some teams play Spirit. They find really good timings for the long push. It is really hard to do. Too late or too early, and you're going to betray your team. It has to be just right. Nice timing on that smoke, actually, because they do want to go through this one fast into the B-bomb site. MP9 in the middle of reload. Look at Snappy. He's out long. They're going to stop Donk here. He can't make it through, and neither can Sontix. Snappy might have... Oh, he still lines the shot. I was going to say, might have overplayed his hand running in there. But NiP actually coming back into this. They were going to lose all of their money if they lost this round, but great recovery, about to be 5. You know what? This is the CT side of Dust2 as well. I'm really impressed. I'm actually blown away by what NiP are showing right now.
Looking for some kills, but I think after you run into this AWP, I don't think you challenge into it. I don't think you can. It is Shiro as well, after all. And as you say, like, they do need to keep building money. They need to create more of a buffer again. Now, I mean, what we've seen from NiP there is their understanding onto how to stuff those B plays. I think their ability to do that from Dark has actually been really good. We've seen Ashush especially, I think, as you've already mentioned, really be a very good performer in that role. And so for Spirit, I wonder if they'll switch up the pace, go for some like fast long takes. Now, NiP have been starting with 3 players there at the start pretty reliably, but Spirit could just try to trade that out. Sometimes if you get the spawns for it, that does work quite effectively, and you're putting a bunch of gunfights onto NiP in the chaos. So that could be one option we could see.
The challenge is always just whether or not you get the spawn, right?
Yeah.
I do feel like a lot of the times whenever a team does, you just say, oh, this is the round, we go for it. But sometimes it's quite a while before you feel like, okay, we actually have everything we need here. Okay, they will still have a pretty good buy here, Spirit, but they already on the second timeout. I mean, NiP doing a really fine job right now. 5-2 in their favor. Money is not looking great really on either side right now, and that's the constant danger that's lurking in the background. But
3 AKs too.
Better than anyone expected.
Yeah.
I was told by the analysts that they were going to get stomped on this map. This isn't a stomping right now. Maui promised me Spirit were going to, you know, just crush their way in there. It's not like I'm not going to call him crazy, but since Kasad's not here, I did Google, and there is a mental health hospital nearby called Bolnitsa, so maybe we can check in Maui later on.
Well, we have the long take in the meantime. And, okay, playing around it, Ujux picks up one. The AK's coming into play for the CTs. Donkdo takes down Ujux, and 3 kills quickly there for Spirit. Out of nowhere, 2 versus 3 now for NiP. Playing on the other end of this smoke, Snappy keeps the long control, but there's one more, and it's Shiro. Might not expect that. The round resets, but look at Zontix straight through mid. Snappy with no fear. And they maybe panicked that this is the bomb, but the bomb is going to be creeping through long here. Oh, that's a huge fight to win. But how can they predict Shiro's position?
Such a scary player. For a clutch like this one, I would hate to be up against Shiro. The only advantage is I think they do have a sense that he was on this side of the map, but maybe that doesn't help them. Snappy, all right, that grenade is going to tell the whole story for him. Grenade right on up. It lands in front, and it does a lot of damage, actually. The HE on top, and he nearly burns. Down to 27. Got to be careful you don't stand on top of each other here. Nice shot, but mid-air caught. Wrinkle will not miss the opportunity. They clutched the round. Snappy and Wrinkle. That was such a nice play.
That was incredible. And all of that extra damage from the nades, the burn damage, the HE, it made it doable. Just needed to tag him like one time, and that's exactly what happened for Wrinkle. Otherwise, he escapes and he resets with the AWP. So that doesn't feel quite so good at that point. So massive find there for NiP. And it was a slower play into lock. And it almost went wrong.
Oh, man. Yeah, scary fight here. Although neither Wrinkle or Snappy were scared at all. Like, they had no fear fighting Zontix, which is kind of impressive given... You gotta remember the level of opposition that they're against right here in NiP. But they are actually playing like they don't really care about that. They feel like they're just, you know, any other team at the moment. 6-2. Money is low here on the Spirit side. NiP. This is a shocking result already. If you had made me guess, I would have said NiP get no more than 5 rounds on the map in total.
So historically, in the 10 maps the Spirit have this year, only 2 teams have actually gotten more than 7 rounds against them on this map.
That's what I mean.
Falcons beat them, and oh my god, Wrinkle is here! The AWP play, the finesse, the confidence, and now Snappy down the cat stairs, looking to see what he can find here. As Spirit resets after losing that one, it's being looked for, but still so calm from Snappy, trying to escape with a trade-in from Xbox. Chopper makes it a 3v4. But now NiP, they still have the man advantage. They're getting ahead of this doors push. Oh, the peak timing is absolutely beautiful. Ujux with 2 and Shush with the finisher. 7-2. And NiP are asphyxiating Team Spirit Anders.
It's gone the other way. Who could have seen that coming? It's such a random timing for Snappy to walk into the middle there. Like, they just are not ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay, the crowd is starting to try to get Spirit back into the right mood as they are kind of crashing out of this first half. 2-7. They're out of money. There is a shout in play, which I do appreciate. Shiro.
Oh my god.
Okay, be careful now.
I can't believe he's going for this. That's one of those battles where you're like, well, there's actually nothing in it for me.
Yes.
As the AWP, because they still have to get to the site to plant. And that's the only opportunity they may get for a frag, but you love to see the confidence. But now he's softened up for these Tech 9s, is Wrinkle. And this was a round that previously NiP, they made us nervous, Anders. It was a 1v1 clutch, so...
They made you nervous, Dan.
All right, fair enough, okay.
I was always ready for NiP to win that one. But there is a real threat, though. I mean, you're not wrong. This is exactly the kind of round that could be dangerous. And the fact is, if you lose this round, there's a very good chance that we could be like a 7-5 half, and then suddenly Spirit just don't care anymore. They're fine with it. Even at like 8-4, they're still dangerous. The truth is, NiP just... They really can't ever take their foot off the gas here. They just have to power through and try and win this map before Spirit really know what's happening. It'll be another split. Yeah, definitely dangerous, especially because Wrinkle's already low and taken down. A scout strikes back. The fight from middle continues in the B bomb site, and Shush is going to get completely trucked. I'm officially nervous.
I don't think that they can go for this. 5 players up, ready there. I'm just saying, Anders, he didn't get headshot with the scout.
Yeah, that's
one
true.
shot. But even any of the pistols would have done the same damage. It's just one of those things where you have to think, okay, what are the ways that we lose this round? What are the advantages that we have? And they have to get to a site. The hardest thing for a T team to do, this is actually why most teams, CT sides on Dust2, they'll index around, we want to get information, we don't want to take fights. So that you can position correctly, use your util to just block off entrances, get ahead of them, and then eventually force them into a spot where they can't win.
It's one of these situations where the playbook is so obvious for NiP because they're thinking, no matter what happens, if they show up at B, then Wrinkle will get a shot with the AWP, he hides, then they run into the AK, and we're all good.
Yeah.
And nobody ever says, yeah, but what if he dies to the scout, you know, like, or someone else? Like this, then you just don't feel that way. And also the fact that there was rotation, which was like miles away, so...
Yeah.
Well. 7-3. We're going in around number 11. And Spirit, I mean, they're only barely coming into the game right now.
Yes. So typical setup from NiP as well. Again, the 3 available towards long, early timing. Got the boost there indeed for Shiro. Trying to look over the head of the smoke. Very scary here for NiP. If you give Spirit a pick, they have an 80% win rate after getting the first pick, but we got to set up on Cat.
Yes, we do. I love it. Flashing around the corner. What a flashbang it is. Ujux with a multi-spray down. 3 kills and still has 6 bullets left. Going to be backing out of this one. That wasn't a flashbang, Dan. They brought down the sun on Team Spirit here.
That was actually a god flash. I totally agree. And I love that Ujux backed off, knew his job was done. Players often go for more, but Team Spirit now 50 seconds. It's a decent amount of time, but the only way you get this done is by winning some gunfights, getting some 1v1s. And Magic's turning attention back towards Cat after dropping the smoke in CT to try to suggest maybe a play out of the doors. And Snappy just has to survive. He just has to live in this position.
I couldn't agree more. Just never take the fight. Now he's going to get Molotov. No, maybe not actually. For the default and for Goose, but not for the ramp. So yeah, staying alive just became a lot easier. They do have a 3rd Molotov that they picked up on Suntix, but I don't really think it'll make a difference any longer here. 15 seconds, and Snappy's done exactly what you requested of him, Dan. He's stayed alive, gets the kill onto Magic's Suntix alone against the world, and that's just not going to be possible. A nice double here for Snappy towards the end of the round. 8 on board for NiP and going into round number 12. I do want to call attention to something in case people are wondering at home. So Spirit at the start of this round, they throw that elevated smoke in the middle, and then they boost up looking into the smoke. It's not because they're stupid, it's because they're hoping that NiP will blow open the smoke to look. And I'm really curious, just an open question for anyone watching. When we go into the second half, let's see if we can watch if NiP, if they throw 1 smoke in the middle or 2, because there is a double smoke for the CT side that stops anyone from being able to blow it open. So I'm really, really curious if NiP will be more careful, but I think Spirit were trying actively. They threw 1 smoke. They wanted to bait that grenade being blown open there, and they just didn't get what they wanted.
But NiP here, they've crossed the threshold of 7 rounds. They've made it to 8. And can they get the 9-3 finish? They got 9-3'd in the first map.
They're doing it again. So that boost up there, Shiro's going to be watching. They're crossing their fingers and hoping someone blows it open, but NiP aren't playing that game.
That's beautiful. Oh, we might get some aggression here. Shush, Sontix, he's very ready for this. Oh, okay. Everyone's abandoning this plan.
Wow.
But they do get the information. Because Spirit's either like Cat right now, or they're kind of working dark to the doors, and then Cat a little bit later timing. Snappy's coming back. You'd expect this spot to get Molotov. There we go. Snappy has to respect it. And this is just clearance, like you say, Anders. We still don't know where Spirit wants to go, but it kind of feels like they want to run up Cat.
Yeah, but they can change their minds. This is where they do their best work. Although NiP has shut it down so many times already. Grenade does go a little bit too far, unfortunately. Wrinkle. This would be a flick if he could hit it. He could only see it right at the corner of the scope here. This actually is kind of dangerous. All right, the smoke will alert him to the fact Incendiary goes up, and they kind of have to push in front of it here. They can't fall back now, so it will be the full-on catwalk position. Sontix takes one. Wrinkle hoping for a shot, but they're so slow there on the Spirit side. Finally, there's a flick for you. Donk goes down, and Chopper is next to fall. Snappy able to hit the headshot, 3 versus 4. And with just 20 seconds left here, Spirit, this is the last round of the half. They need more than 3 right now. They've been slowed down. NiP are biting back. They lost on Train, but somehow they've kept it alive. A leg shot, Sontix falls to his death. And Shiro here, there's no time. He can't win the round any longer. NiP with a 9-3 finish in the first half. That is so crazy.
Absolutely sick. Wrinkle is the truth, Anders.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is the truth. My God, he is just so steady with the AWP. You honestly cannot ask for more from an AWPer to be able to hit all of the steady shots, especially in games that are have immense pressure on them. But he also hits the other shots, and his decision making is really good. So I'm really enjoying what he's delivering here. And let's not forget, the dominance started because Wrinkle picked up the AWP early and was able to perform with it, and that just never stopped. And we saw that Spirit were trying to move away from it. We have a lot of hits towards B. We had them trying to avoid him. He went to B. So it's a really interesting story here on this map, as we saw a very well-prepared NiP.
Yeah, if it's your first time watching Counter-Strike at this level, you are witnessing something really rare. Almost no teams can stand up to Spirit. It is one of their strongest maps, but more confusingly, it's a map they get to play so much because, I mean, they have so many good maps that they end up playing this in almost all best of 3s. So they get so many reps on it. They're so good on it. It's so hard to shut them down, and somehow this scrappy NiP lineup that have had to qualify through open qualifiers, have had to just hoard as many VRS points as they possibly could all over the world, essentially, to try and get here. And they have found a way, and you just have to be impressed by what they're showing us. 9-3 in the opening half. They have not won the map yet, and we know that Spirit can make a comeback from this scoreline, so don't get confused, but it's all right to be impressed.
See what they can find on the T side. Donk's close with the dualies. It's a threatening prospect. As they jump up, there's the Xbox Shadow, but Ujerks just deals with Donk like he's just a regular human, and we all know that's not the truth.
Yeah, you gotta pretend like. Anyway, they've got one smoke, already been set up here. Flash in the sky. Ujex does go down. Shiro hoping to find another headshot. Magic's at range. That's a nice one, but Shush will stop Shiro before the madness continues. And they actually still have not even used the smoke. I thought they did earlier, but Snappy, he still got it. So let's see what he could find. If he throws towards the catwalk now, and he does, oh, that is kind of gross, isn't it? You look at Spirit like, come on, that can't be real. Why did you have a smoke left after the execute?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if Snappy knows, but it certainly was the right move. Don't peek at Wrinkle. Don't do it. It's not where they have a kit. You have to stay alive here. They can still win the round. It's rare, but they actually have a kit here on the T side, or CT side. In the pistol round, it doesn't matter. Chopper firing away, missing all the bullets. It's Snappy to take him down and winning this pistol. They're so close, Dan. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
It's pretty incredible. So the only team that has beaten Spirit in the last 10 games of Dust2 is Falcons, and it required an overtime. So what NiP are doing here is an absolute anomaly so far. And it's not as though Team Spirit didn't perform well on Train. We saw them firing off, as you would expect. And going into this round, a couple scouts here, Donk and Shiro. Again, there's lots of danger here. NiP, they must remain vigilant and disciplined in their protocols against a force spy.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is a huge test of leadership for NiP to see if they can keep the troops all in line all the way to the victory here.
Yes.
If they start to let up now, that probably would be a reflection of the fact that there, you know, there's some part of the focus for the team kind of falls apart. Don't start dancing on Spirit's graves until you're absolutely sure they're dead.
Yes.
Kind of one of those Jason Voorhees moments where suddenly they're back with a machete and a mask, you know?
Well, yeah. There's a guy called Chopper on Team Spirit.
Chopping it up, I've been told.
Oh, he might get NiP looking to burst through. There's the flash over the top. Or rather, sorry, the smoke over the top for CT.
Yeah, very nice. There is that close range for Sontix. 5-7 kind of dangerous in this position. Oh my god, that's a mid-air headshot. He gets one more, picks up a third. Shush goes down. Sontix has just killed the round. Shiro has picked up one with the scout as well. And just a 1 versus 4. Shiro will clean it up, but it is all Sontix all day in the middle. The time to kill on that first shot, we saw it not from his point of view, but you could see with the X-ray there that that was a mid-air kill.
5-7, so good. In spots like this, that's crazy. What a big result, and that really is the start of the comeback because they pick up a lot of AKs as well. Not only that, bomb didn't go down, and NiP's economy is going to be totally wrecked. This is the worst your economy can look after winning the pistol and then losing the following round like that.
Yes, it is.
So NiP have to dig very deep at the moment. And mid-play got exposed completely. What a setup from Team Spirit. And if frustration was close, if that stun bar was close to getting to the max, that round's going to alleviate pressure from Spirit. There's only so many options here that you have, Anders, from NiP's perspective, and it's so commonly this cat play.
And Chopper's just going to try and slow them down. He's not even worried about getting kills. I do like it. Incendiary into smoke and right into the Galil that was stolen the previous round here. Chopper doing fine work. Does end up with a triple. Actually ends up with a quad kill there. That's pretty well done. But yeah, that was probably always going to be their round. I think that was the plan for NiP, was to creep close enough to catwalk and just have some sort of an explosion. But because they got spotted and slowed down, almost all of the punch in that round goes away, or is taken away really by Spirit.
Certainly.
10-5. I'm seeing a sawn-off shotgun on Shush. No, he sold it. All right. What a baiting beta.
That looks on. Donk close, Chopper close, looking to make a mid-play. Team Spirit want to put that disruption onto the enemy side. It's big from Donk. He wants more now, charging his way forward, and they have sped past this round.
Doesn't that make you nervous? When you, even though obviously in some sense these are the easy kills to get, no armor, just Glocks on the other side, but it's more like the mechanics with which he does it and the concept that he could start to come alive. All right, my guy. I'm glad he's enjoying the game.
Let's do it.
It's a lot more than I thought the audience would, but fair play. 10-6. And we're in the round number 17 here. Let's see what NiP have got. They've already let Spirit back in. I know that NiP are in the lead, but this is already a disaster right now. It could very easily collapse right under their feet. Chopper starts to fall back from the corner. NiP trying to get closer. They do want to put some more speed on. I kind of like it. And Chopper not able to get anything through the smoke. NiP will not stop. They keep pushing the corner. They want to make their way past, but in the smoke, Shush will fall, and it is going to be U-Jerks next in line. Chopper finding them before he can even see them. He's already got the double. At least they're on with the bomb here. It's Wrinkle to get one spray down, but Chopper finding another triple kill. Can he keep it up? Donk to help out, and now they're hunting down Chopper with back-to-back quad kills as he puts his team back into the game.
Now, that might look really crazy from NiP's point of view, but running an A-long push with that amount of pace is unusual. Usually the team will slow down. And part of the reason is because there can be danger like this. You're kind of gambling that these spray battles aren't going to be devastating as they were, but you are, if it goes well, you're going to hit a crazy timing onto the site. And we could see that the two players on the B side of the map were so far away when they were already crossing. And so that's one of the advantages, the trade-offs, but the negative trade-off was it can go like that.
I mean, I do like the pace change there. I do think it's a really cool idea. And for a minute, it worked, right? They actually did go... They managed to land in front of a lot of the Spirit utility, and a lot of the spam didn't really work out. But then, of course, at some point, that changed.
Yeah, you can just get sprayed, and it's a gamble.
Chopper is top fragging. At least on the... Well, in the server, in fact. 3-round gap. NiP, they have a little bit of something to work with here. Armor on 3 players, Tech-9s. We've already seen in the first half how dangerous these rounds are. Spirit made great use of these kind of rounds by just getting... Oh, that's awkward. They did want to throw that over the wall, but never mind.
We don't talk about that one. So we can see from Team Spirit an anti-eco protocol, 2-1-2.
Surely going to be a B split, right? Snappy's got 1 single smoke. Maybe they want to do the catwalk thing, or maybe they might fake the B split and just go for it. They're pretty much all up there, so this incendiary for Magic's probably going to be pretty decisive depending on when he throws it down. Yeah, so the smoke for CT spawn, it's a little bit late here, but Shiro still managing to flick just fine. Taking down Aristotle as well, slowing down NiP. Would love a bomb plant here if you're on the T side. A little bit awkward here, but running out of bullets, unfortunately, is Wrinkle. And running out of teammates, too. It's a nice headshot, but that's also about the best we could say for them.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that NiP got that 9-3 first half, because the money is, at this point, unlimited for Team Spirit. They're never going to run out of buys.
Yeah.
And so NiP are going to have to win 3 gun rounds just to get to 12. Sorry, no, to get the win.
We'll get to 12 first. That is part of the way.
It is on the way.
You're not wrong.
Part of the journey. There we go.
2-round gap. It was a really nice lead for NiP. And at least they have the buffer. You're not wrong about that. But how long can they keep the momentum up? Now that Spirit have started to wake up a bit more, it's looking pretty dangerous. Early presence up by long for NiP, so not exactly the regular defaults. Smoke going to go up towards the doorway, so again, that regular has become sort of the new standard smoke. It is just the 1 smoke, which would mean Spirit can blow it open to look on the other side. Some teams really love that on the CT side. It depends on who you're watching on the map, but there are some teams that are just huge fans of it.
1 minute mark, and we get a gravitation towards the CAC. Clearance, part of the default. 3 players on B for Team Spirit, so they seem to have a read there.
Yeah, but it's incorrect. This should be an A split. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe they're well ahead of the game here, Anders.
Yeah, I think they just might be much smarter than me, unfortunately. Shush, he was long, but now he's crept up back, and with a player in upper dark, B split suddenly becomes way more likely. Here comes the smoke, but like you already said, Dan, Spirit knew what was coming. 3 inside of the bomb site. They're so ready to defend this.
Must have been some epic tell that they figured out. The only way out of this is for NiP to shoot their way out as they come into the setup here. Donk gets the first player. I don't know how they're going to find all of these players dug into the site. Oh my goodness. Would you expect anything less? Donk, an absolute menace, tearing everybody up. And Team Spirit now are going to wipe out Wrinkle. 9-10, 1 away from tying it up, and Team Spirit look way too happy right now. NiP, it's all slipping away.
Yeah, I think Donk is in the zone all of a sudden.
But
oh my God.
Sick. But there had to be a tell really early, because they got into that 3-player setup, didn't budge very early into the round. There might be like a piece of util, a timing, something that they had a tell for, maybe.
It could be, it's just... Maybe the tell is just they played Snappy a lot and they have some sense of how he likes to approach things, how long we go. Okay, here's the difference. They will take down 1, but unfortunately now they're being hunted by Donk. Nobody likes that. Gets the first, tries to get the spray, and he'll take 1 more before Chopper shows up. Little flick there from Shiro will delete Ujux from the round, and Shush out here, he knows The bomb is all the way back towards T-spawn, so whatever he does here probably will not have any effect on the round. A long road back, a long minute and 20 seconds for him to find a way. Yeah, they have it. Spirit look to tie up the game, make it 10-10.
Uh-oh. Into the crosshair. And at that point, damage again. We talked about it previously. It didn't even matter. The bank is unlimited. Spirits have been subsidized by the governments. And those funds are not ever running out.
A timeout call. NiP getting a chance to discuss. Do we have anything left at all? A 9-3 first half. Now in the second half turned into an even game at 10-10. You already mentioned it, Spirit, with all the money in the world here. NiP, what's left? Is there another plan here? There are things they haven't really tried, but the problem is right now everything is so costly for NiP to do. They could go for one of those catwalk into CT spawn drops when they do the mid splits, right? But again, it requires catwalk. It requires a little bit more presence on mid.
And they have a B spawn here. I was going to say that the fast long play that they got, and they have managed to get out into long as well. They could slow that down and kind of gamble that. That's one of the nice things about it, is that even if you're 5v5 against the CTs, one of the reasons why it's good to just scale slow is because you're in a pretty good spot as the Ts in your fights.
Early incendiary down. They did want to go quick if there's not going to be more utility here. And they might do that anyway. Donk on top. Sontix right in front of him here. Turns for the grenade as they walk into it. Such a great double setup. One trade is in, is not enough. Aristosha, there's the headshot that they needed. Donk gets clipped and he's out of the round. And they've actually found a way to get him through to the bomb side here. It's going to be planted as well. Is that enough for NiP to finally get to 11? They have so much money, Spirit, that they probably feel like it's worth it to go for the retake because they can just keep on buying. They're not throwing that much away. Double into upper. Magic's going to be the first point of contact. A little bit of a jump. Look at him trying to bait out the shot here. As Aristosha has picked up the AWP. Will survive the grenade early on, and they're pushing in right behind him. Nice flick onto Chopper. Will absolutely blow him up, and Magic's here very exposed, even as he gets the kill. Time is running out here. Snappy crouched in the corner, and Shiro will have to pack up the AWP and walk away from it. 11 rounds for NiP. That's a long loss streak for them, but one step closer.
Yeah, and just one more to just at least secure an overtime, and pretty well played by Aristosha. You know, it's kind of a scary situation because you're trying to both play delay, but part of the delay play is to find that one clean shot that connects, and that's exactly what he was able to get. And Snappy too, you know, the position was being looked for. Snappy had to deliver a reactive headshot, and those really, I mean, they can come your way and they can go out of your way too. So 11 to 10. The thing though here is that success, how repeatable is that for NiP? They can't necessarily just try to keep running that one round over and over again. I think they're hoping for a long spawn, honestly.
Well,
not great for that, at least.
It's so risky. I mean, you could try and go for something, but looks like they're going to be boosting in the middle instead. Grenade to make the cross. Ooh, Chopper. Oh, look at this push into the middle. Spirit. This is the kind of killer instinct that's hard to deal with. Are they ready, NiP? I don't think they know. Donk is right here in front. And Wrinkles out of the round. They try and push up behind him. They want to put some pressure on, but he's got Chopper and Shiro at his back. And what a team it is. Donk taking down U-Jerks. The entire mid offense there for NiP. Blown wide open. And the reason they don't expect it is because they'd already had the boost. They'd already looked down middle. They thought that was clear. They thought there was going to be no problems. Shush and Snappy trying to make their way out long, but it is very unrealistic at this stage here. Magic's okay. Maybe giving them a bit of an opportunity. Backup is coming in, though, and it's Donk to very nearly kill Shush. Plenty of time. Plenty of backup is coming here. It's not a big deal if Magic's dies. Oh, Shush falls instead, and Snappy versus 4. He's got the first, and he doesn't have enough bullets for it. Sontix takes him down. 11-11. Game is tied up once again. A real big problem for NiP.
If Wrinkle had been on that angle for maybe even half a second more, it was really close. He would have probably hit the shot. He's been hitting those shots.
Yeah.
And even if he didn't, he'd be like, why are you trying to get through the doors. Like they would at least expect some kind of shenanigans. So the margin there was so incredibly fine, and it couldn't be at a worse time. Their money's just completely blown up.
Snappy with a scout in the middle. Probably a sign of the times here for NiP that they just don't have the money. I don't know what else they're supposed to do, but I appreciate the fact that they've gone for this sort of a half buy just to stay a bit dangerous. They didn't spend everything, so they have enough to try and fight in for overtime, but oh man, if you could summon out of nowhere, if you could snap your fingers and get another wrinkle round here, that's what you need. No one can question that he has the talent for it. We've seen that already here tonight.
Yeah, totally right. And Team Spirit know not to overplay things, but that can also be a double-edged sword in the sense that you're giving space. That's the trade-off. And sometimes it works out really well, and other times not so much.
Look at how fast that smoke is. I'm really surprised NiP don't just run behind it. They set up another one, but now they are surely going to go for it. You need to make the call. You can't really wait around in the middle. Zontix is here, and Donk up in the window. Gets one, a little bit of a crossfire. Donk looking to ring that bell, but he's going to get shot in the back instead, and it's Wrinkle alone. He's getting shot at from all sides. Eventually, they're going to be bursting through that smoke, or it'll simply fade. Magic takes him down, and Spirit now on map and series point. Another round, and they're in the semi-final.
It's hard to believe that there was a moment when Spirit looked like they could lose this Dust2.
I mean,
but it's just one more round for NiP.
You've got to give it up for NiP no matter what here. They do deserve a lot of respect for putting on this kind of performance, but the fact remains they are playing team spirit. The crowd is on their side. Donk has woken up. Chopper's been playing phenomenally on the second map here. And they're all in upper dark, which means they pretty much have to make a bit of a choice. I mean, they could fall back. Oh, Donk for the smoke. Why not? Didn't even see him. Wrinkle.
You can see they have the read, though. They know NiP, one of the most successful rounds they had recently, was out of an upper dark timing. So they dropped the smoke early. They spray behind it. It's too smart there. But it's a T-side of Dust2. It's always salvageable. Ujux is close to the double doors. The rest of the team here making their way towards the longhouse, it looks like. See if they continue in that direction.
I feel like it makes sense. They've smoked up towards the middle. Ujux is going to be clearing out this position against Shiro, although the problem is, if he actually pushes Shiro back, he's just going to be helping the long hold. Oh, it doesn't matter. Nice shot. Ujux takes it. 50 seconds. Magic's turning for the flashes. Good headshot, but they need more. Chopper is out here on the other side of the smoke. He's going to spray down one of them. Is he ready for more? Donk gets a headshot through. It's just Snappy left. And surely they come for him. Shiro to take him down. Spirit almost broken. Almost defeated on Dust2. But this is how strong they are in the semi-finals here in Astana.
Really incredible. They were looking frustrated, and it came out of the class of NiP, just like you said. NiP deserve a lot of